Hello everybody. You might be noticing something different about this video. For the last 14 videos you've been looking at a computer screen, but this time you get to see my lovely face. And that's because we're officially done with coding in this video series. And I just want to wrap things up by first giving you some pointers on where you can go to get help with programming in the future. So let's think back to the last video whenever we ran into that error. So if you remember, we were trying to save out the adult and child classes, and XML had a crash, and then a window came up showing an error. And you might have thought when that happened, wow, Michael knew exactly what to do to fix that. He must be really smart. And the truth is, I'm not. I actually Googled that whenever I had that crash for the first time like a year ago. Okay? And basically, all you have to do whenever you run into errors like that is, step one, copy the readable text, because sometimes when you see an error, you'll see like a bunch of numbers and a bunch of gibberish. You want to just copy the English readable part that makes sense, paste it into Google, and 9 times out of 10, you're going to find someone with the same exact problem that you're having, and you'll usually find it on like a website called Stack Overflow. Is usually where I find all of the answers for my errors. Just click the first link you see, and you'll find someone with the problem asking the question, and then below you'll find a bunch of people offering solutions, and they usually have pretty detailed explanations about why their solution will fix the problem. Okay, so really, this is a big part of a programmer's job, is basically Googling errors. I do it all the time. It's the first thing I do whenever I have any type of crash. And honestly, it's how I taught myself how to program in the beginning. Okay, I would always Google any type of problem that I came up with. Now, maybe you're running into a problem that you can't find an answer to. Or maybe you would like guidance on a specific topic or a more detailed explanation about a certain thing. You can always ask questions on websites like Stack Overflow. I'm going to have a list of websites in the video description where you can go to get help with programming. And feel free to ask questions on these sites. There are many people, many experts on there willing to help people. Just keep in mind that they're not going to help you if you haven't taken the time to research and try and take care of the problem yourself, okay? If you go on there and ask a question that's already been asked and answered before, that's going to be frowned upon, and they probably won't help you. So make sure you've always tried to research and Google and try your best before you ever ask any questions on these websites, okay? But if you do want to ask a question, keep in mind that the people on these websites are very busy. You need to be short and concise with your question, and you need to have a good title that gets people on board very quickly. Okay, so if the title of your question is, "My code crashes, please help," or "I don't know what to do now, can you look at my code," or something generic like that, yeah, again, people won't help you, they'll get frustrated. Thinking back to the XML error that we had, a good title for that problem would be, "My XML is crashing when trying to serialize children classes." And then in the actual question, you could post the specific error, and then post the code that you're having problems with. You always want to post the code that's crashing so other people can look at your code and see what's wrong. If you don't post code, most of the time people won't know how to help you, okay, and you won't get any responses. I'm actually going to put a link in the video description here, and it's a page on Stack Overflow basically giving a bunch of pointers on how to write good questions on these websites. So even if you're not asking a question on Stack Overflow specifically, this advice still applies on these other sites too, okay? Just keep in mind that these people aren't going to write all of your code for you, and they're not going to do your work, okay? But they will help fix code that you've attempted to write, and they will help you on the right direction. Okay, so don't feel bad about Googling errors or asking questions on these websites. Many expert programmers, the first thing they do when they have a problem is they type it in Google and see if anyone else has had the problem they're having. I would say that a large percentage of the programmers I know that are doing professional work, this is how they've learned to program, okay? It's by using the resources available to them online and asking additional questions on websites like this. It's definitely how I learned, okay? I went to college later on, but I learned thanks to communities like this. So yeah, I mean, the information is out there, and I think we're very lucky to live in a time where all this information is at our fingertips. It's definitely a cool time to be alive and learn how to program, because you don't have to go to college to learn these things anymore. Okay? Alright, well that's all I have to say on this topic. Be sure to check the links in the video description, and I'll see you people on the next video, which is the final one in this Intro to Programming series. I'll see you there.